All right, everyone, welcome back to Bet with the Pros. It's a new year. Our future on the Washington football team hit. Thank you. And back with me is the Better-in-Chief, Daniel Chiang. Danny, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Ron. How's it going over there? Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. You know, it's going good except for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we won't even talk about that. Not that I had a 5-in-1 week and I lost all my money on the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we won't talk about that, okay?
I had a rough one on that. You know, the first play, fumble into the end zone was a little bit of a tough one to watch for sure.
That was an omen right there, man. That was an omen. But see, here's the thing. I live bet it. I'm like, oh, okay, plus Pittsburgh Steelers plus 100? Oh, I'm on it. Yeah. Anywho.
Double down.
I doubled down, man, and now I'm broke. But it's all good, man, because I have a great idea. Now, you hit our future last time we were on the show, and that won us, $765? That was great. Here's my idea, man. What if we did a show just about futures? Because you are the man at futures. I mean, a show with the Washington football team, division winner. What if we did that? I pick your brain, I get division winners, I win some money so the bookies don't break my legs. What do you think?
Absolutely. And the great thing about futures is, they're typically quite soft markets, easy to beat, and, very profitable. And second off, in addition to that, our viewers and everyone on the Line Sniper team can kind of sweat along and follow us and tail. And it's much easier to tail than, betting a game. So I'm happy to go through some futures and, sweat some of these during the season.
Okay. All right. Awesome, man. Well, let me start with the first one. NBA, my specialty, my forte. All right. So I found on FanDuel, we're talking about division winners. And there's a lot of things I like on here, but it's got to be at the right price for me. Like, for instance, the New Jersey Nets to win the division, that's at minus 140. That's not worth it, man. That's not worth it to me. That's a stupid bet, right or wrong.
Yep. I totally agree. Typically, betting futures, betting the chalk, which means betting big favorites, is not the way to go. Typically, in the futures market, we want to be betting these, as you saw from the Washington football team, future, typically these slightly longer shots or bigger odds type bets. And, that's because if you're going to pay to wait on these bets effectively, because they take months and months to grade, you want your payoff to be worth it. So we're definitely going to be looking at kind of some of the longer shots typically in these markets. Yeah,
that's the one thing I hate about futures. I'm not a patient guy, man. I hate waiting, but that's okay. That's okay.
The best things come to people who are patient, Ron.
You're right, man. You're totally right. I wish I was like that. So I'm going down to the Northwest Division winner. Nope, not Northwest Division. I think it's the Southeast Division. Nope, not Southeast Division winner. Southwest. The first one. Yep, the Southwest Division winner. Okay, here's the thing. We got the Dallas Mavericks minus 175, and here's what I think about the Dallas Mavericks. Unicorns never playing. What if Luka goes down? With the whole COVID situation in the world today, I don't think they're going to win the division, man. It's up for grabs. And who's their second best player? Tim Hardaway Jr., Jay Richardson? He has no help. So I think that this division is right for the picking. The San Antonio Spurs ain't winning that division.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you here.
Perfect.
Especially on the Mavericks. I think your point is very relevant in terms of, especially this year with COVID and with, because, players aren't going to be practicing if their teams get COVID, etc. I think injury risk, as we saw in the NFL, as we saw in baseball, as we saw, pre the bubble, is going to be slightly higher this year than normal. So teams that are heavily reliant on one player, like the Mavericks with Luka, if their big chalk is typically going to be a team that you could fade.
Yeah, and who would pay $175 for that? That makes no sense. The Pelicans, the Grizzlies are trash. They're not doing it. So honestly, I think it's the Pelicans or the Rockets. And the Pelicans have looked like trash all year long. They have not been playing good. Zion seems like he's hurt again. Or he has COVID. I think it's COVID. He's one of the things. I don't know. But the Houston Rockets at plus 1,600? Talk me up, man. Are we crazy?
Yeah, so, I personally really like the Rockets. And the reason for that is they're a team with what I call high variance. So on these long shot futures bets, you want to bet these teams that ultimately have a good shot that they could be a fantastic team, but they just currently aren't playing up to their potential. And the interesting part about Houston is they do have a quite strong cast of characters.
Yes, they do.
Despite Harden getting traded a couple of days ago. And I think this was largely a pretty significant overreaction to the Harden trade news. If you look on some of the other sites which haven't captured it yet and are probably a little late in adjusting their numbers, if you look at DraftKings, for example, if we go over to DraftKings and we go to NBA, and then Team Futures, and then Division winner. Southwest Division. You can see that the Rockets were actually 5-1 before the trade and moved to 16-1. Now, people following the trade, most people know, but Ron, why don't you explain kind of who the Rockets got back in that trade for Harden?
Well, the Rockets got back a couple nice young players, and Victor Oladipo, who is a nice, solid point guard. The only thing about that is, like we just read, we're not sure if he wants to play there, but he's on a contract year, which means that usually players on their contract year, they tear it up because he wants to get that max deal. So I think he's going to play, and he's going to tear it up. And Victor Oladipo is an all-star. He's a great player. Their backcourt is nice. Him and John Wall in that backcourt. You got Boogie Cousins.
Exactly.
And my favorite player, who used to be a Sixer, and I cannot believe we got rid of him, Christian Woods. This guy, I don't know if you know about him, Danny, but this kid's amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah, I actually think Christian Wood is the favorite, in my opinion, to win most improved player this year.
Oh, by far.
I saw these bets that you could place on most improved player maybe like a week or two ago that actually one of our other analysts, Red Dave, was talking about. Christian Wood was 20-1 to win most improved player about 2 weeks ago. And I think now he's like 2.5-1 to win most improved player. This is a consistent 2010 guy, I think, with the minutes he's getting on the Rockets.
No, he's and his story is so great. Didn't get drafted. His girlfriend left him, played overseas, got a shot at the G League, worked his way up, and now look at him, man. I mean, you got to be rooting for this kid. Like, who wouldn't root for this kid?
Absolutely. So I think the Rockets are just one of these sneaky teams that everyone kind of hates right now because of the Harden news, which kind of gives us a little bit of an opportunity to maybe, play them on the division.
Okay.
I like them on the conference to win the Western Conference too at 100-1, but it's a little bit too much of a long shot, I think, for our purposes today. So why don't we go back to FanDuel and lock in that Rockets?
We're locking it in?
Lock it in.
All right, so we're going to do the Houston Rockets to win the Southwest Division. And how much are we putting on there, Danny? What do you want to put on there?
Put on all 500 on the Rockets in this.
All 500?
I like it. I think you're in agreement with us, so
you know what? It's between them and the Pelicans. I agree. Exactly. So $500 is going to win us $8,000. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be sweating all season long.
We're going to be sweating it all season.
You know it, brother.
Actually, one other point about the Rockets I want to point out is if you look at their schedule so far this year, they've had a tough schedule so far.
Oh yeah, no, they have.
They played the Lakers twice. They played the Nuggets. They played the Blazers. I think they've even played the Mavericks already. So
they did play the Mavericks.
Out of the 9 games, part of their bad record comes from the fact they played some hard teams so far. So, that's going to only be in their favor moving into the rest of the schedule. So I think that's another small nuance that we want to point out.
And not to mention the locker room cancer is gone now. So it's going to be a breath of fresh air. It's people that want to be
guys
there.
Are going to be motivated.
Absolutely.
I love these types of stories where, guys have to prove themselves, especially with the way Harden left, where he criticized the entire team, saying just aren't good enough to win a championship. I think the guys in the locker room are kind of going to pull together and say, forget this guy. Let's show him kind of what we're about.
Dude, I'm pumped. Let's do it. I'm pumped. All right, we're $500 to win us $8,000. Let's go, Houston Rockets.
Oh my gosh, they won't even allow us to bet. How crazy is that?
Wow, are you kidding me?
Confirm it. Oh no.
187. Can we just keep doing it over and over again? Can that work? Or
no, they'll change it. But yeah, let's lock in the 187.
All right, we'll lock in 187. Let's try.
Crazy, right? So that's one of the realities.
That sucks.
Of sports betting that not many people are privy to is when you're getting the best of a line.
Yeah,
they won't let you bet it because you've maxed out the number already. It won't matter if you could put in $10. They won't let you bet that number.
That's so messed up, man. That's so messed up. So
that's like one of the interesting things about sports betting is if you're placing a bad bet or a bet that doesn't beat the line, the sportsbook will allow you to place almost infinite amounts of money on it, millions of dollars. But when you're identifying these mispriced lines or these softer markets, the sportsbooks will really limit the amount that you're to bet on their platform, which most people don't realize. And that's why the cap as a sports bettor on the legal sites is typically quite low. So this is just a great example of, one of those things that sportsbooks do to limit winning bettors over time.
That's so messed up, man. That's all right.
So yeah, that's we have 312.5 more in this account, but let's go ahead and look at kind of some of the other things that are going on this week.
Okay, so speaking of, you talking about this week, we got wild card weekend, brother. And here's the thing that I think we both like this one over at DraftKings. Let's go down to football. Hold on. NFL. We go to weekend specials. Okay. Most passing yards for this weekend. Now, we're all going to say Patrick Mahomes, right? Because it's Kansas City. They're on the offensive juggernaut, blah, blah, blah. We get that, right? But, you can't win anything on plus 150. Like, what is that? That's nothing.
Yeah.
I need money, Danny. I need money.
So we're going to go with the long shots again, I'm sure, Ronnie.
We are going with the long shot here. Baker Mayfield. Talk to the audience about why you love Baker Mayfield to have the most passing yards this weekend.
So how I looked at this set of games and the thought process behind it is, first I looked at, if we look at, just click into, for example, FanDuel quickly, and let's just look at the NFL lines for this week. Just go to football.
Yep.
And then if we look at the totals for this week, right, which is the amount of points we're expecting each team to score. You see, the Cleveland Browns versus Kansas City game has a highest total, which means there's going to be the most amount of points should be scored that game. And if there's the most amount of points that are scored that game, theoretically, there should be the most amount of yards, right? Because yards typically translate into points. So that means either Patrick Mahomes is going to throw for a lot of yards and score a lot, or the Cleveland Browns are going to throw for a lot of yards and score a lot. My hypothesis on this situation is simply that Patrick Mahomes, being kind of the front-running team that they are, and if you look at the spread, they're 10-point favorites on the spread, should blow out the Cleveland Browns.
They should.
So imagine this situation where Kansas City goes up 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Despite Cleveland being a team that likes to run the ball behind Chubb and Hunt, they're not going to throw the ball again for that entire game. And that's why you saw even last week, when the Browns got into an early start, the Steelers threw for like 500 yards that game. It was like Roethlisberger's most passing yards, despite being a terrible situation. But that's typically what leads to most passing yards, is when your team gets behind, you have to throw the ball a lot. So a player like Patrick Mahomes, if they're front running, they're up 4 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter, they're going to hand the ball off to Le'Veon Bell or Clyde Edwards-Helaire and just run out the clock. Meanwhile, Cleveland Browns are going to be tossing that ball all over the field, trying to catch back up in the game. So that's why we think, at 10-1, it seems like Baker is probably slightly mispriced.
And listen, he looked good against Tennessee. He looked good last week. Baker, is he good now? Is it good, Baker?
I don't know. He's had a few good games going into the end of the year, so he could definitely throw the ball around. He has some receivers too. He has Landry. He has a really good tight end receiving group. So
he does. He does.
They definitely have a chance out there.
He has a shot. And
I
that's what I want is a
lock
shot.
in that 10-1 for the balance we have in this account.
All right, you think he's going to take it all?
We'll see. Actually, they might not. Honestly speaking, they might not, because they know Ronnie P's coming to get him. So
they know I'm coming for him. So 257 will win us $2,830.
Wait, before we place this bet, Ron.
Yeah.
What do you think the chances are they take a $257 bet from you?
Oh, they're not going to take it all. No.
You don't think they're going to take it all? Oh my gosh.
I don't think they're going to take it all. No. What are the odds on? What's the odds? What's the odds, Danny?
I don't know, but we'll see. Why don't we lock this one in and
fingers crossed. They did take it.
They did take it all. I should have made a bet with you.
You should have made a bet with me. Okay, I'm going to be sweating this game a lot. I wasn't even going to watch this game this weekend, to be honest with you, because but now I'm going to be watching this game. I'm rooting for Baker Mayfield. So 257 will win us $2,830. Let's go, Baker. Please, Chiefs, be up. Be up, Chiefs. Be up. All right. Go to another one, I guess, right?
Let's do it.
Now, college basketball. You know what? We talked earlier about this, and I was very shocked I didn't know this team was actually any good. I have no idea. I don't really follow college basketball until the March Madness begins. It's just too much going on.
Absolutely.
Like the bigger teams, yeah, of course, but like Gonzaga, Baylor, even the bad teams like Duke and North Carolina right now, I know what's going on.
Of course, you either know the name teams or the best teams, but
yeah,
5, 10, 20 games into the season for college basketball, there's oftentimes really interesting situations that occur in college basketball because sports books don't adjust their information fast enough because no one really, as similarly to you, follows college basketball that closely.
No, not at all. I mean, I love college ball, but give me NBA. I'm sorry, man. NBA and NFL. Like once the season is over, I'll switch over to college. But right now, I got to finish football. All right, so we go down to college basketball. We're going to go to the championship winner, right?
Yes, sir.
Men's
and I like the
winner.
Tennessee Volunteers this year.
Yeah, right here at plus 2,000. Wow.
So I will be the first to tell you, Ron, I could not name you a single player on the Tennessee Volunteers.
Nope,
I have no idea who's on this team. But some of the rating systems I look at tell you that they're pretty good, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, look.
They're ranked like the 5th best team, 90 and a half versus 93, so they'll probably be like 3-point dogs or something on a neutral field to Gonzaga. I think that's probably not enough. I think Gonzaga would be a bigger favorite, but, they've had a decent record. And more importantly, if you look at some of the other sites, FanDuel, DraftKings, if you just look at their college basketball odds, and then go to futures.
Yeah, futures. We on futures?
They let you.
Why then?
You have to press OK. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
See, Tennessee is like 13-1 here. I think on DraftKings, if we go to DraftKings, we can see kind of what they are there.
Team futures, championship winners, Tennessee. Where are they at? They're plus 1,300. Yeah.
13-1. So you're getting a little bit of value on just betting them at 20-1. 7 times more your money isn't anything to laugh at. So that's kind of where I find some interesting spots for Tennessee. The other team that I think is kind of interesting, by the way, if we can find them, is if we look at William Hill again.
Okay.
Another team that I was looking at that was kind of quite interesting was Creighton.
Oh, I heard they're doing pretty good this year, aren't they?
So if we look at Sagarin again.
Okay, let's go to Sagarin.
At 25-1.
Yeah, let's see.
It seems like
10, top
10. They seem quite good to me. And if you look at FanDuel and DraftKings, for example, like Creighton is lined as actually 17-1 here versus 25, and then if you look at DraftKings, I think I saw them at like 10.5-1.
10, yeah, wow, look at that, wow.
Or Houston's like 11-1. I think Houston is also one of those interesting teams.
So Danny, how are sites so different? Like, how is this plus 1050? Other ones plus 1700. Like, how does that work?
That's why actually at the highest level of sports betting, it's much more about getting the best lines and getting good prices versus having this crazy intuition on which teams are going to win or lose, because unlike the stock market, there's no centralized exchange in sports betting. So if DraftKings doesn't coordinate with FanDuel to make sure that their prices are in line, it's kind of like the wild, wild west a little bit, which is what makes kind of sports betting a very profitable space if you know what you're doing. But why don't we lock in Tennessee?
All right, let's lock in Tennessee. Let's check here. Okay, let's lock in Tennessee. So how much we put in? Are we doing 200 on that one? All of it 200 or?
Let's put in the 200.
Jeez, Danny, you got big cannolis.
We like the long shots. So.
Yeah, long shots are good. So 200 will win us $4,200. Okay, so March Madness. I'm all about Tennessee.
All about Tennessee this year.
Is this gonna let us lock it in? You think?
I think so. I think for $200 on this sort of market, it should.
Please bet. Okay, it's reviewing.
The review process, the never-ending review process takes them a minute to figure out.
Yeah, is this a good bet? Okay, we'll take. All right, we're in. Cool, man. We're good.
All right,
we're
done.
Good then.
So why don't we go back to FanDuel? Let's see what else we could bet the rest of this balance on, since we have it in
Absolutely,
there ready.
Man. We got 3-12-15 to bet
3-12. Let's look at some basketball, maybe. Let's see what they moved that Houston Rockets price to. I wonder if they moved it at all. Go to division winners, Southwest.
Winners for the Houston Rockets, for the Southwest Division. Yeah,
See, they didn't even move it, which is crazy. I wonder if you could bet it now. I don't think they'll be able to, but you'll be able
try.
to. But
yeah, we can try.
press OK again.
Yeah, okay.
And then just
Nope. Review bet amounts.
Yeah, which is crazy. Why don't we look at team futures? And since they won't let us bet them on the Southwest Division, we'll take our chances and bet them on the to win the Western Conference.
Western Conference.
So go to team futures.
Where is team futures at to make
The third tab.
Oh, right in front of me. Long day, brother. Long day.
Western
All right,
Conference.
Team futures. Western Conference, you said?
Western Conference, yeah. And then Seymour. And we'll get them at that 100-1 price here. We'll lock in a little 100-1 Rockets.
Oh, the Rockets.
Ronnie, I think we have to do it. I think we have to lock in 100-1 Rockets. So why don't we X out the Pelicans?
Yeah, let's see if that's going to win us. We did 312. Oh,
312.
wow.
31.
Wow.
Might as well put the 5 in there. 31,250.
Might as well, right? Might as well. Wow, that would be nice. I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be nice.
Let's go to baseball for a second.
Yeah, let's check out baseball. All right. Baseball. Oh, World Series outright.
Let's go to American League, maybe.
American League winner.
American League winner.
Did the Yankees get anybody in the offseason yet, or are they the same
I don't
status
think
quo?
So. Press Seymour on the World Series.
Oh, World Series Seymour. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Didn't Tampa just get some new players?
No, the Mets got a whole bunch of new players actually.
Oh, the Mets.
I'm trying to think if there's anything we can parlay this thing with just for fun for the viewers.
Yeah, why not? Let's have some fun here.
Why don't we go to college basketball? Maybe there's something there. Or hockey. Let's go to hockey. You know, we were talking about hockey earlier.
I know I know I'm a homer, man, but I'm telling you,
futures.
Flyers look great. Futures. Stanley Cup, Seymour. Plus 1,300, Danny. I'm just saying. They looked really good last night.
Lightning. Tampa Bay Lightning's Ronnie plus 850.
Okay.
I think that's quite strong as well. I wonder if they'll let us parlay them.
Wow.
Two-team parlay.
Let's see if we could do that. Let me just exit that out. We did a 2-team parlay of the whole thing or just to see?
Yeah, the whole thing.
312.50. Wow. How great would that be?
I think we just lock it in and just have some fun.
Let's just have some fun.
It'll be a nice fun sweat for us.
It would be. All right, let's see if it goes. Oh, of course they take that one. Of course they take that.
We're ready to go. We're ready to go. So now you have two teams which you can sweat for the rest of the season: the Lightning and the Rockets. Ronnie.
Lightning and Rockets. Wow. Okay. You know, I never thought I was going to root against LeBron James. I love LeBron James, but I'm rooting against LeBron James now. Damn you. Damn you, Danny.
Where we hope he has a great season, and then right before they play the Rockets in the playoffs, we're hoping a quick COVID bout. So. You know, not a lethal one. You know, no harm done.
Yeah, no. Just like a 2-week one.
Asymptomatic one. You know, the asymptomatic one.
Yeah, we don't want to kill anybody on the show or anything. No, of course not.
But all right, perfect. So I think that wraps it up from us. Anything else from you, Ronnie?
No, just listen again. Thank you for joining us, and I love these futures. I'm going to be sweating them, especially this weekend. I'm ready to go, man. Let's go Baker Mayfield. Let's go Tennessee. Let's go Houston Rockets. I'm down. Let's do it.
Perfect. Sounds good. And we'll check in on these Rockets and Lightning, sporadically to see how our, $300 whatever $1,000 bet is going.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow all of our content on linesniper.com, including your boys' 10 keys to betting on college basketball. And of course, follow us on social media at LineSniperHQ.